Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another installment of My Naked Truth with the Empress. Because you know I love to get naked for y'all. Y'all know what I mean. I am the Empress. Happy 2024. Happy New Year. It's a new year. I first want to say thank you guys for y'all support. My show wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for your support. I appreciate y'all. Please keep the love coming. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment. Share it with your friends. Everything y'all do helps the show, helps it to grow, helps the algorithm. So once again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. The naked truth don't never stop. So I have learned throughout my lifetime that sometimes the fantasy of somebody is better than the reality of a person. And it's kind of like, when you have like a celebrity crush, you're like, oh, he's hot. If I ever met him, it's on site, on site. Okay. But then you find out that they're married, or you find out that, there's something else fundamentally wrong with them. It kind of tarnishes your fantasy. So like, for instance, one of my all-time celebrity crushes is Morris Chestnut. Okay. So for years, I just thought Morris Chestnut was just the finest thing ever and this and that. But guess what? Morris Chestnut was married the whole time. I was fantasizing about him. And once I realized that in reality he was married, that kind of messed up my whole fantasy. Like, I understand why celebrities don't really want you to know if they're in a relationship or not, because a lot of your fans is people that want you, and the thought of being able to have you is like part of their fantasy. But once you say you're married, and how about Morris Chestnut been married and faithful for over 20-something years to his wife. So he's a heartthrob and all these things to all these women, but he would never step out on his wife. Like, at least I don't think he would. But that whole him being married thing, kind of messed me up. Like, when I found out Idris Elba was married, I was like, damn, you really can't be my baby daddy then. Like, and sometimes it's good to keep people as a fantasy, and because the reality is just not as beautiful as a fantasy. I have an actually real life experience, true story about this situation. So when I was in college, oh God, I wonder if she remembers this one. My friend won't remember this story when I tell it. When I was in college, right, I was real wild. Okay, this is calm down, refined Empress. When I was in college and high school, I was a wild one. Okay, so my friend, she took me out to her hood one day, or her neighborhood where she grew up, introduced me to a bunch of her family. And she happened to introduce me to one of her cousins, right? Now, her cousin was fine as hell. He was fine, okay? He looked like a rapper that was really hot at the time. Still prevalent now, but not hot like that no more. And I don't want to say who he looked like, because if I say who he looked like, then people might know who I'm talking about, because he really looked like him. So anyway, she introduced me to her cousin, and I was like, oh, he looked like so-and-so. But because I had a fantasy of this rapper, I was like, oh, maybe I could get I could live this fantasy out with him and just think that he's this rapper that I really like. Anyway, me and him end up exchanging numbers or whatever, and maybe like a week after that, I had him come over to the crib, and I'm like, yeah, I want to see what's goody good with what's goody good. So we're kissing, we making out or whatever, and then he whips it out, and that shit was very underwhelming. Like, very underwhelming compared to what I was thinking about in my head and what it was going to be like and what I was going to get. It was very underwhelming. And I was surprised because this person had like 8 kids. Like, he obviously was getting women, and I didn't even understand how he could make a baby with what he had. So when I saw it, I was just like, oh, I was like, I ain't feeling real good or whatever. And I kind of did the whole headache, I'm sick thing and just totally bowed out of the situation. That was the only option I had. Like, what could I do in that moment? I wasn't getting ready to fake it, because you already know I ain't faking shit. That's another thing. Footnote that. We're going to come back to that. So I basically just bowed out or whatever, and I really didn't talk to him after that. But it was honestly because I had built up in my head this fantasy of what it was going to be like. And then to see what he presented, I'm like, wow, this is just really not even my fantasy. Like, this is not even my fantasy. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have just never even exchanged numbers or even got that ball rolling. Sometimes it's better to keep people as a fantasy. And it's also smart to just not have any expectations in life. Like, don't expect shit from anybody, because when we have expectations, that's really what lets us down. It's not the person or the situation or the thing or anything. It is the expectation of what we have in our head. I had gotten into this conversation with my mom last night, and my mom was like, Jackie, just live in the moment. And I'm like, you're right. I said, we all should just live in the moment, because that's what we lose throughout life. Like, when we're kids, everything is an adventure. There's no expectations. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just excited to experience things. And then life happens as you get older, and then you become jaded and guarded and cautious and all these things. And you stop living your life because you don't know how to live in the moment. So now I'm bringing it back to childhood. I'm getting in touch with my inner child and healing her, so that way I could go out into this world and just have my adventures and experience life again, and not really have any expectations or control over whatever's going to happen. I just want to experience shit. I just want to have a good time. If you on that same wavelength, we could rock together. If you not, go do your wavelength somewhere else and let me have mine. Okay, now back to my footnote about faking shit. Okay, peep it, right? I don't fake orgasms. I don't fake feelings. I don't fake shit. I am my authentic self, and you're going to get it real, raw, uncut, no chaser with me. That's how I am. So my advice to women in particular, because us women, we're tired of having bad sex with guys, because like most of y'all, majority of men, y'all really don't know nothing about a woman's body, like other than how to put it in and the basic stuff. Like if you, like for me, I just feel like I feel like women should express to men if they're good in bed or not. Like, if you getting it in with somebody and it's lame, don't sit up there screaming your head off and moaning and faking it, because you making him think that it's good when it's not. So it's like, for me, number one, I don't want to have bad sex. I don't want to receive it. I don't want to give it. Okay? So if you dealing with me and I'm telling you, yo, do it like this, do it like that, I'm teaching you. Okay? And if you get an opportunity to lay with me and I'm teaching you, trust me, you're learning from the master, boo. So take notes. Don't be offended. Take notes. Because some women are even worse than me, and they won't give you direction. They'll just be like, do it with you, fake it with you, and then never do it to you again. If you had a woman to do it to you and then she never did it to you again, that means you wasn't that good, no matter what she told you. I feel that people should be honest about people's performance. If it's not good, if they're not doing it right, then teach them. Because what happens is, it's a whole bunch of women out here too scared to tell a man that he suck in bed. And then he goes to the next woman, giving her subpar performance, and then she gas him. And then he be walking around here thinking that he be slaying dragons and shit, when he really ain't even taming an ant. So can we keep it honest? Can we keep it honest? Furthermore, like, what good are you doing for yourself if you faking it? If you faking it, you not being satisfied. Let me explain something to y'all. The man gonna be satisfied no matter what, because he getting it. Unless it's a man who's a skilled lover and he can say, no, I like this way or whatever. But most men are happy to be getting it. So you need to find a man that's, number one, willing to learn, wants to please you, and number three, cares about you getting your stuff off more than he cares about him getting his stuff off, because he's gonna get it off regardless. Okay? Another true story. This is a funny story, and I have to keep it kind of PG because we on YouTube, but I'll try to be as colorful as possible for y'all, because I know how y'all love a good story. Not too long ago, I had dealt with somebody, and we talked and we dated for a while, whatever, and it came down to that night we were actually going to get it in. Don't think because you do it one way with one woman that every woman like it that way, okay? When you lay down with somebody, you should be trying to learn how they like it. And if a woman is telling you, yo, that's not it, listen, don't keep doing what you're doing because she's telling you that's not it. I'm very direct. So anyway, this guy was handling my love below orally. And he kept like ramming his head into my love below. Okay? Like ramming your head into it while you're trying to eat it. Okay? So I said, stop doing that. Just lick it. Stop doing that. He continued to just ram his head and ram his head. And then after that was all done and over with, mind you, I told him the whole time he was doing it, like, no, that's not it. And he kept doing what he was doing. No, that's not it. He kept doing what he was doing. Finally, we finished that portion. So now he hitting it. Beast mode hitting it the entire time. And I'm like, fellas, women don't like to be beast moded the whole time. You cannot be on demon time the whole time. If you know anything about the flower needs some finessing. That means you going to beast mode it a little bit, and then you going to finesse it and slow stroke it a little bit, and you going to mix it up, because that's how you get your woman off. Ain't no woman from you beast mode hammering for an hour. It don't feel good. And as quiet as it's kept, guys have told me that don't feel good when they beast mode you like that for a while. They be sore from all the hammering and shit. Bro, one and done. Never mess with him again after that. Because number one, you showed that you only think about yourself when you in it. Number two, you can't follow directions. Number three, like, you suck already. Like, that's too much teaching for me to do. Like, I'm not teaching. If you can't even take simple instructions when I'm talking to you, I'm not teaching you. Yeah, so that was a one and done. But guess what? I didn't fake it. Oh, my hand itching. Child, I'm about to get some money. Send it, spirit. Yeah, spirit manifested millions spirit in the palm that's itching. Okay. I got millions. They just ain't make it to me yet, but I got them. Trust me. But anyway, I said all this to say, don't be a fantasy and don't live in one. Okay. Let's just keep it real for 2024. Let's stop faking orgasms. Let's stop lying and manipulating. Let's stop creeping and cheating. Let's just be us. Let's just be real with each other. Okay. And let's see where that gets us, because honesty is the best policy, but it's also the one that don't nobody want to use. Okay. Anyway, y'all like this show? Y'all want to see more of my naked truth? Hit that like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment, okay? I want to know what you have to say. Positive, negative, indifferent. I don't care. Just drop a comment, okay? And I will see y'all later. Bye. Thanks for watching. Your support is always appreciated. Don't forget to drop a comment, smash that like and subscribe, and then share. But if y'all want to show some support with them dollars though, throw your girl a Cash App on handle $EmpressElite. You feel me? Until we meet again, you gonna take these kisses.